Okay. So today I'm working on a belt. This will be the fourth belt that I've ever made, but it's been a long time coming. It's for one of my closest friends, and I promised it to them like 2 years ago when I left the Navy. They were the first person to take me up on the offer when I said that I was going to start making stuff, before I'd really even done any leather work. And that kind of open season encouragement where they don't really care what I do, just as long as I do, that's really important to me. I don't always have the easiest time communicating that kind of thing, but hopefully the effort translates.
So a quick disclaimer up front, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like I said, this is only the fourth belt I've made, so I don't think anyone should be trying to learn technique from me or consider what I'm doing as any kind of guide. I think there's value in learning from other people's mistakes, so when they come up, I'll try and make a point of highlighting them. Personally, I often learn more from beginners that way because they're often struggling with the same issues that I am. Folks at the top of their respective crafts usually don't even remember what those issues were and are now focused on polishing fine points that won't be relevant for people in my position for ages. At my level, just spending more time in the pool is more beneficial than fixating on stroke timing to shave fractions of seconds, you know? One of the things I find most frustrating about learning how to do new things like this is the knowledge that as soon as I'm done whatever it is I'm working on, this belt for example, I'll be able to do it like 30% better. Each thing I make represents such a large percentage of my total experience that the gains in knowledge and ability between them feel almost demoralizing. I remind myself that the only reason I'll be able to make better things is by making successfully less bad things each time. That the worst versions of things are in a way the source of the future good versions of things. But boy is it frustrating going back and editing footage of what you were doing, shaking your head like, why would I do this? I know better now. Especially the footage. So much of me resists making videos like this because I can't go back in time to get better shots or angles. I'm just stuck with whatever I've got. And what I'm making is unique. I'll never make something quite like this ever again. So what I filmed is what I got. I'm trying not to linger too long in any one part of the process. Like I said, this isn't any kind of guide, more just documenting what I'm up to for anybody that's interested. The build itself probably took me like 10 hours, and there's only so much stitching people really want to watch. I had a lot of fun with the dyeing process. I had a vague idea in my head of what I wanted, so I just started doing stuff. I wanted a little black speckly thing, so I dipped a little glue brush in dye and kind of bapped it over top. At one point off camera, I hit my hand with the brush and launched a big black streak over the end of the belt. I loved how it looked, and it was just such a fun sensation that I decided to keep doing that all over. Sometimes following the dopamine really is the way to go, especially for something like this. I'm making it because I want to, because it's fun for me, because I want my friend to have something that I made just for him. Not worrying about how it all happens so much is more authentic, I think, and it feels like that registers in what you're making. I love this stage. Finishing, conditioning. It's when I can really see how things are going to look. It takes a while, but it makes such a difference to what you end up with. This here is one of the mistakes I wanted to highlight. I decided to try putting some thread locking stuff on here to keep everything solid. I've never used it before, and I probably never will again for this kind of thing. Once everything was together, I noticed that the keeper, that little bit that holds the part of the belt that's past the buckle when you're wearing it, was super tight. Like, frustrating to use tight. I was happy with how everything looked, but I figured it was probably worth taking everything apart and making a new one. But I just couldn't get this one Chicago screw apart. I tried taping it, pressing it into leather, an earplug, a rubber hammer, nothing. And after, I don't know, like 45 minutes of soul-crushing battle with this thing, I decided to just let it be. Maybe it'll relax after he's worn it a bunch. Worst case scenario, he can always send it back to me and I'll cut it off and make another keeper. All in all, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Reminds me a bit of those Dixie cups that all the dentist office had in the 90s, combined with jewelry you'd find at like a tourist trap in Arizona. But I mean, it's a vibe. Wrapping it up in its own splash guard also makes me very happy, and I have no idea why.
So there we go, all done. Hopefully it was worth the wait.